we've got an update to a video I did over a month ago. That's when Bobby Lee was dropped by Wondery because of the Tijuana story. Well, now he is suing that company that is owned by Amazon. So this from The Hollywood Reporter. Comedian Bobby Lee sues Wondery over a canceled Tigerbelly podcast contract. The complaint alleges that the Amazon-owned podcast company terminated their contract in response to a market slowdown. Comedian Bobby Lee is suing Wondery for breach of contract after the audio company allegedly canceled a multi-year ad sales and distribution deal for his podcast, Tigerbelly, that he co-hosts with Kalila Kuhn. The complaint filed in Los Angeles on Thursday on behalf of Lee's Tigerbelly company alleges that Wondery was under pressure to cut expenses and roll back its financial commitments in anticipation of a podcast market shutdown in 2023, leading the company to terminate its 39th month deal with Tigerbelly Podcast in early April. The deal, which Tigerbelly and Wondery reached in December 2022, was in exchange for multi-million-dollar financial guarantees that reflected the widespread success and popularity of the podcast, the complaint said. In a termination notice sent to Tigerbelly, Wondery also allegedly cited a morals clause and pointed to a 2013 story that Lee told and later said was made up for shock value about paying for a young worker who had tears in her eyes in Tijuana while as a guest on other podcasts. The complaint said prior to Wondery terminating the contract, Lee was also the subject of public pushback after clips of the comedian telling the Tijuana story began resurfacing online in late March, leading Lee to address the story during an April 5th episode of Tigerbelly. In the episode, Lee said he felt terrible and explained that he made up the story by combining two bits he had used on tour about going on a date with a girl who looked like a young Natalie Portman from Leon the Professional, and another about speeding up having sex with a girlfriend who started crying about her grandmother who's deceased. Damn. Tigerbelly's complaint alleges that the company never agreed to a morals clause in its contract with Wondery and noted that Wondery would have known about the Tijuana story prior to striking a deal for the podcast. The Tigerbelly episode was also released before beef actor David Cho apologized and claimed he made up a story about doing that to a massage therapist during a 2014 episode of his podcast. A representative for Wondery did not immediately have a comment when reached by The Hollywood Reporter. Tigerbelly is seeking a jury trial and damages in the millions of dollars, according to the complaint. Lee, who has reoccurring roles in the Magnum P.I. and Sex and the City reboots, created the Tigerbelly podcast with Kuhn in 2015 and have uploaded weekly episodes to YouTube and on major podcast platforms. The show has ranked among the top 50, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so, interesting case here. Now, he's claiming that this was some big plan they had, but based on projections, to cut the deal anyway. Now, they said they cut the deal because he was getting canceled again over that Tijuana story, although that had popped up before, but that is the reason why they ended that deal with him. But he's saying there is no morals clause, which I would highly doubt, by the way. I would highly doubt that a company, especially a company owned by Amazon, would get in a multi-million-dollar deal with a podcast and not have a morality clause in it. And his numbers didn't dip or anything, so obviously now he's claiming they're long-term projections. I'm wondering if he's just trying to say that's the real reason. It's not even really this Tijuana story thing, although I kind of believe that's what it is because that's when they did it, and that's when he made everything private on his Instagram and stuff. But like I said, he's been called out on this before. But the difference, also, by the way, from this last time was when it was before, it'd be some people on Reddit complaining or that chick who stormed the stage and called him out. But no one really picked up momentum. This last time was on TikTok. And all the little young popular TikTokers picked up on this story. And I think this time it got in front of board members' eyes and they were like, we can't do this deal with this guy. Like I said, whether the story is true or not, I do believe that is the reason why they ended that deal. However, if he's right and they don't have a morality clause, well, then he should win that case. But like I said, I would highly doubt that. I would highly doubt a company owned by Amazon would get in business with Bobby Lee for millions of dollars and not have a morality clause. Not have any little thing they can do to just get out of the deal. I highly doubt that very, very much. I don't know. And the crazy thing is, Bobby Lee also, by the way, since he's suing over this, better pray that story's not true. Because now you're going to have to they're going to have lawyers now try and investigate if that story is true. One would think you wouldn't be able to find that out, but I mean, you will be having this testify under oath and stuff. You better not get caught tripped up in a lie there. So I don't know, but the fact that he's willing to sue over it maybe proves that it's probably not true, but who knows, man. I just find it interesting that he's now suing them. But by the way, so we never even got an official word as to why they dropped him. We just knew that they had dropped him because they were no longer affiliated no more after the whole TikTok thing happened. But now they have officially said the reason why we dropped this dude was because of that Tijuana story. Talk about a story coming back to bite you. True or not, by the way. Especially if it's not true. Can you imagine just making up a funny story, I think first told on the Opie and Anthony show, and then on other podcasts, it not being true, and then that fake story costing you millions? Crazy. Insane. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments.